everyone! Today, we're diving into how René Descartes explains the notion of certainty, particularly when it comes to the knowledge of the self, and how this differs from our knowledge of the external world. Descartes, often called the father of modern philosophy, begins his journey into certainty with radical doubt. In his work, Meditations on First Philosophy, he decides to question everything he believes to be true, aiming to discover a foundation of knowledge that is absolutely certain. Why? Because he realized that our senses can sometimes deceive us. Think about optical illusions or dreams. If our senses can't always be trusted, how can we be certain of anything? This leads Descartes to his famous thought experiment, imagining a scenario where an evil demon might be deceiving him about everything, even the existence of the physical world. But here's the key moment: even if he is being deceived, he cannot doubt that he is thinking. To doubt is to think, and to think is to exist. This is where Descartes arrives at his famous conclusion: Cogito, ergo sum, I think, therefore I am. This realization forms the basis of Descartes' notion of certainty regarding the self. The act of thinking is immediate, undeniable, and self-evident. Unlike knowledge of the external world, which requires interpretation through the senses, the knowledge of the self as a thinking being is direct and indubitable. Now, let's compare this to knowledge of the world. Descartes argues that knowledge of the external world is less certain because it depends on our senses, which, as he has shown, can be doubted. For instance, we might perceive a stick as bent when it's placed in water, but it's actually straight. Even the existence of the world itself could be questioned. What if it's all just a dream or an illusion created by the evil demon? Descartes ultimately attempts to bridge this gap through the concept of a benevolent God. He argues that a perfect God would not allow perpetual deception, and thus the external world must exist. However, this knowledge is less direct than the certainty of the self. It requires a chain of reasoning, unlike the immediate awareness of I think, therefore I am. While Descartes' argument for the certainty of the self is influential, it has faced scrutiny. Some philosophers argue that cogito, ergo sum, assumes what it sets out to prove: the existence of a stable self. Others question his reliance on God to secure knowledge of the external world. Still, his method of doubt revolutionized philosophy by emphasizing the search for indubitable foundations of knowledge.